Hi guys. Hi Stuart and Mark. David Sykes, g'day. Bill, g'day. We had thunderstorm. It's been a nice day all day. Don't know if there's much happening here, to be honest. Come home yesterday and had to sleep. Got home fairly early in the morning and sort of, hey Kevin. Don't think there's very much happening, to be honest. First time I've been in the workshop really all weekend, sort of. Oh no, I did a bit, but it's a bit quiet. I don't know if we got much to discuss at all. Bill wants llamas. I want a week off. And it's not going to happen until New Year. Morning, David. I was looking for bits in a box. Hey, Dan. And last tool making challenge, I kind of screwed up. Because I lost the tool that I was working on. Which was this block of D2 that I started with. Starting to get it looking half sort of reasonable, actually. You could do with a bit more cleaning up, etc, etc. But we've got a decent block of D2 there. Everyone can tell what that was going to be. Now, I lost it and gave up on that. Ended up building Myford Boys' little bandsaw. A rough cut 2020. No, that wasn't it. Can't remember what it was for anyway. But I lost that anyway. Last week I was looking in a box of stuff for a slit saw and found this. So I might get that finished at some point. Little marking gauge would be very nice, about 6 inches tall, because that's all I ever need. Anyway. The trouble is with that is I've got to look through and find the drawings and stuff and see how we were going with it. It's probably not a big deal to finish it. Done nothing at all on that engine. That's a bit poor, to be honest. It's tucked away over there in the corner. I haven't been home. I've got one day off this next weekend and may not do another one. May not do much then either, but we'll see. I see Kevin's got an engine running, so nice to be some. Spent the weekend doing not very much, nowhere near as much as I planned. I ended up getting sunscreen in my eyes or something, I don't know. Got a rock tear duct on one side eyelid. She's not doing me any favours, and it's sort of rub my eyes too many times in the day when I get tired, and it ended up with rubbed a bit of sunscreen on it, I think, on the back of my hand on a hot sweaty day, and started to sting pretty bad. I really couldn't see much for much of the morning on Monday, so I didn't do much except cook lunch, and I didn't even do much of that. But the boys got the concrete poured, which is amazing. So Dan's got a new concrete slab, which is, I'd like to think it's communal, but I think that Dan can take all the blame and everything for that, because he's done an amazing job there getting it down. And it's not a bad concrete slab considering all things. Morning, Frank. Good to hear that, Kevin. And it's the start of a new shed. It's got 7¼ inch gauge rails across the front of it, across the middle of it. It's pretty solid. Dan's put a lot of time and effort into it to get it this far. Get it this far before Christmas was another major undertaking. But he's done it, so that's pretty impressive. It's not big enough, but I was sitting down there on Monday afternoon in the quiet after a few drinks and sort of planning out where everything's going to go, and there's no room left in the shed. But anyway, slabs down and can't breathe a sigh of relief yet. But hey, tea and biscuits. But anyway, that's one job done. I came home Monday night. I had every intention of getting home Monday night and crashing out and getting things done on Tuesday. Hey James, I end up getting as far as Wardell, which is not quite halfway, and thinking, yeah, this is a bad joke. I'm not going to make it here. It's getting a bit late and it's getting dark, and I really don't want to drive all night, and it's going to be late by the time I get home. And I'm feeling a bit stuffed, so I pulled over and crawled up in the back of the van on the mattress and slept through to about 6:30, something like that, in the morning, and jumped in and come home before 9 o'clock and spent Tuesday doing chores and things before I went back to work today. And that'll be my last long weekend, or the last weekend really, 2-day weekend even, for the next few weeks anyway. So that's what happened. I got the laundry done and got everything, mattress and everything set up, come in here and messed around, printed another prototype for the little gearbox. Been doing a little bit to that. How far is Dan's? It's not far. It's about, from here it's about 3 hours on a good run. From work it's about 2.5, something like that. But there's a daylight saving time zone in the middle of there, so it's an hour longer than that at the moment going down, and an hour shorter coming back. So, well, in theory I can leave Dan's at 6 o'clock and get back here by 7:30 or 8. It rarely happens like that. Really good theory. But on the other flip side of the coin, I work about half hour away on a good day. On a bad day, it's 2.5 hours to get there too. So, by either way, it only takes an accident. So it can be quicker than coming home. So, bit of a trek, but it's not a bad drive. It's a good road. There's a few stops. Cruise control, that sort of stuff. Just put it in gear and get up to speed and press the button and stop at the other end, really. So that's how that works. I went down on Saturday night after work. I didn't get there till about 10 o'clock. New saw bench. Yeah, new saw bench has been cutting firewood. Not exactly constantly, but it's certainly done a bit. Hi, Matt. It's done a bit of work. Fridges, usually it's a morning job because, truth be told, it's kind of a maximum of 3 beers sort of a machine. And but there's dry linwood kicking around down there everywhere, so it's a pretty quick way to turn that into firewood and get a fairly big heap of it. So a little bit impressed with the new saw bench. It's all up and running. And it seems to be built it up permanently in the yard. I don't know if that's going to last. We're going to put it out the bush, but it doesn't. It seems to be right there, where next to the firewood heap. So we'll see how that goes. I think Dan's money was very well invested on that. It was a good deal. Going to have to move it at some point. Yeah, it's looking a bit untidy in the middle of the road yard, and you're going to have to mow around it and stuff or under it. We'll see how that goes. So we had a bit of a go and got in on Sunday and moved the steam roller out of the yard a bit, away from the concrete trucks, and finished welding up the railway tracks to go up the middle. It was all done, prefabricated and put in level, sort of. Or put in and it sagged like they always do. If anyone's thinking of putting railway tracks in a slab, talk to us first, because we've got a better way to do it. Did a little bit of steel work, made some plates and things for purlins and things in the rafters in the shed, joined some beams up. I think Dan's Christmas holiday project's to get some roof on the roof, or some iron on the roof, which would be really nice. But we won't hold it against him if he doesn't get there. My holiday job, I don't have any holiday jobs. I'd love to do some sign painting at some point. I'd really like to get some sign writing done as a fixture every week going forward through the next year. That's sort of a New Year's resolution. I don't know if that's going to happen. It hasn't happened this week. And next week I've only got Sunday off. I might get out with a paintbrush and do a little job or two, but we'll see. There's a dozen jobs that I need to do. Anyway, I'd also like to get this little engine a little bit further along, which means I guess the next thing is a cylinder hone or a cylinder lap and a piston lap. Next jobs. I need to finish these 3 brass oil caps for the Roby engine at Dan's. Need to have a bit of a go making some studs. I promised I'd do something about these oil lanterns. That hasn't happened. I haven't even looked at that. And I got, this is sort of no, it's not even close. Let's have a look over here. This is the final, sort of almost the final prototype. It's not really the final prototype. Right. There's not enough hours, that's all. And if there is enough hours, you tend to feel like sleeping some of them. This isn't the final prototype, but it's getting sort of close to the final prototype. I've put this on here to make the chips easy to clean out. And that goes down there like that. So that gives it a bit of strength this way. Doesn't feel like this is just sticking out unsupported. I have dropped these back to 4mm heads, and I'm going to have to find some low profile ones of these, or make some screws is probably what's going to happen. Some Philister heads or cheese heads or something that go in here so that they don't stick up. All right. This has already got one hole built in here. Which is M6 from, that's really the answer, not really the way to screw that in there. Just got a screw in here, and it's got to be set up and drilled for another hole back here, because I don't think a dowel pin's going to do it. But this is how that looks, which I think is pretty good, and gives a groove here that's nice. Well, I thought it'd be fairly easy to clean out with a brush, and everything here sits nice and flush. It's a bit more solid in the back here than it used to be. This bush hole here doesn't come all the way through anymore, so that's easy to keep clean. And this cap that sits over the top here sits in flush here, so that should be pretty good. Then there's a cover goes over the top of it, and I sort of did some artwork for a brass plate to go in here. And hey Chirpy, and if we have a look in one of these boxes, because we've got way too much crap in boxes now. Got no idea where. Probably not in this box. No, certainly not in that box. Probably in this box. Oh, look over here. But probably not in this box either. Box of dowel pins. Lots of ball bearings and things. No, I got sidetracked on that on something there that's not going to happen. It's in one of these boxes. Probably easy enough to get another one if it's not, but I think it's in one of these boxes here. No idea where. I'm going to put a ball oiler similar to this one, like this one here, and put that in the end here, or right on the top corner to match 45 degrees to match this one, I think. And then we'll fill it up with gear oil, and that does the job. Anyway, so that's where we're going with that. This isn't sitting straight, but this is sort of got a nice feel to it, and everything looks like it's going to work. Joe's having a complaint about this profile on here, but he's got a CNC machine, he can do anything. Chirpy, yes, I can answer your question. Hey, Paul. Oh my gosh, this is it, right? CNC caliper. Gets a fair bit of use actually. It's out on the bench at the moment. Scribing block. Oh my gosh, I'll post a picture to a video to Discord of who did it, because I can't quite remember. Australian guy. Can't remember his name. That's a bit slack, but I will find the information. There you go. Anyway, this, I don't think this is actually how it's going to look, but something like this goes on the end. Brass plate on the top, out of aluminium, probably painted, match the lathe. And we're halfway there. So I've done this because I've sent the file to Joe. You're not on the server anymore? Chip, oh my gosh. I'll find some information. I can probably tag you in the video or something like that. We'll have a look and see what I can find. I'll do something about that tonight. Anyway, that looks pretty good on there, and I think that's going to be fantastic. I'm still on the friends list on Discord. Yeah, right, I'll do that. It's easy. I'll send you a message. So this runs over there like that, nicely. Gives us extra 10mm on the front there. See that? Probably can't see that, but there we go. Also brings this, the main purpose of it, anyone who missed it, also brings this final drive, which is this one, right, out here. I'll put that there and drop it for sure. That runs off here, so eventually. But it does put it out here in line with this edge here, which means that we can put, eventually anyway, probably something a bit heavier than this, but we can put a bar through here out of the way of the tool post, which will pop the automatic feed out at a given set point. And probably we can set that up with a micrometer on here as well, so that we can get it exact. That's a thought. All right. That's where we're at. So this is looking good, but Joe's on school holidays at the moment. He's a school teacher. So he's got a couple of months off, which is nice. He's got a month off or something anyway. And he did offer to do this, so he's going to CNC this. So at some point in the future, we'll have one. And then we can start thinking about putting it together. This lathe really needs a clean up. It could do with a rub back in the sink with some wet and dry, and probably another coat of green paint. I think that'd be really nice, but the poor thing's looking a bit loved. Sorry guys. So I thought a plate's something like this, only for cosmetic really. It doesn't have to have measurements or anything on it, but I'm thinking if I could replicate that and put it on top here. It says use gear oil or whatever. Use heavyweight oil, whatever. Then this might be a fairly tidy addition. Bill just put out a video. Everyone should go and check that out the minute they finish this. That would be awesome. I'll certainly be doing that because Bill makes good videos usually. Even that plate, if it was something in this style. There's one there, which is the Crown Nameplate Manufacturing Company, Chicago, advertising plate. Fridge, if you're watching, this is what your Bedford dash needs, something like this. So we'll work on some artwork and do them both at the same time, just so you know. I've already started this artwork, and I sort of started the sort of the Bedford artwork too, but I haven't got very far advanced with it. I reckon a plate. I'll send you some pictures at some point this week. I did start with it, do a bit yesterday, but it's sort of a bit sketchy. I found some artwork to put on it. I've got to learn to use the software again. Got this one sorted though. Dan's busy. Fridge is busy rewiring the Bedford truck, which is one of those fun jobs that any self-respecting person goes back to work and lets him do on his own, because yeah, it's not good. He's having a bad week with technology. Now, thoughts on this. I've had some thoughts on this, right? Because I've got, obviously, it's one of the next things. It's not really the next thing, but it's one of the things. Right. All this is pretty well finished. There are some finishing aspects, like I'd like to get this all a nice clean up and probably get it blackened or something like that. I don't know yet. Leave it silver. I've got no idea. And probably just leave this silver and get all these pieces blackened. Maybe something like that. Needs a guard on it, which probably is going to have to stick out of probably that far with a bit of a return on it, like such. Don't know. It's probably a bit of an angled return on it down. Yeah, don't have thoughts. They are expensive. They get expensive. But I'm gonna make basically a cover that goes on here with some sort of a cutout for this knob on the top, and then a sort of around the corner piece that goes down there, probably in cast aluminium, and it'll probably come across to about there somewhere on the back, like so, something like that. It might even come up to there, I don't know, it might just have a cutout for that. And it's probably going to have some sort of a guard cut out here, because none of this really changes much. And this moves here. From there to there, sort of. So you could cut this out here to match, and then come over here with like a cutout round here, and then down here to keep your fingers out of the gears, and probably a little bit of a return on here. And make it long enough so that nothing gets caught in it from the top. And come through here. And rather than put holes or slits or something in it, probably make it solid with launch on it or something like that. And we put a pin or a standout bolt here or a stud screwed in there, and another one screwed in here somewhere, and then just leave holes in the cover so you can put it on and put a couple of nuts on it. Why not make it from sheet metal? Yeah, 2 reasons. Giving it some thought, Chirp. One is that sheet metal tends to rattle. Like there's a vibration element in making it out of sheet metal. It doesn't have to be, and it's probably all right. Second, it's got sharp edges, unless you put fancy ends and things on it and keep the like if you rolled it up and then put a double slip seam and some wire edge and stuff around it and all that sort of stuff, it's probably all right. But you've also got to stiffen it where it bolts on. And putting a seam or whatever around here to stiffen it's sort of a bit of work. So I reckon a nice cast guard to go on there for a couple of reasons. It's not going to get bent, it's not going to rattle, it's going to sit on there nice and solid, and we can put either Spareroom Machineshop or Launch or something in it in the casting and have all that looking nice too. So aesthetics mostly, no other real reason, and I'm hopeless at sheet metal. Then we've got to put a quick release on there, which is just a pin sticking up. We're going to put a roll pin halfway through, or a dowel pin in it halfway through, and a slot in the piece that sits on there, and then just a ball detent the groove, so that you just click it on and the detent falls in the groove and locates it on the pin, and that's on there, and you can take it off when you need to or put it back on, as much the same as what it's got on this end. So that needs doing. Let's see how we go with that. Chirpy, if you missed it, this stuff's called biothane, my new flat belt material. This looks like technology that you'd be very, very, very impressed with. Biothane, it's a horse harness material, or a dog leash, or a dog harness, or dog collar machinery. A dog collar material. Vets use it, and stock people use it. It's very strong as TPU, I think, TPU rubber wrapped canvas. This makes an amazing belt. Haven't heard back about the bigger stuff. It didn't get to email them. I found out where to email, but I haven't got there. I bet it's expensive. Well, it's not expensive, but it's a lot cheaper than leather, but I bet it's expensive in the sizes we need. So, on other news, I cracked my indicator holder. Very unimpressed about that. This piece here is cracked through the circle. Either needs replacing or I need to make one or something, because I've got all my spare time. Anyway, that's sort of what's happening in the workshop. It's not all that exciting, to be honest. It feels like everything's happening. I reckon that lettering probably something similar than that, but whether we put SRMS or something like that instead, I don't know. I could probably just copy that, take a cast of that, and resin cast it and put that in the back of the guard. And I sort of thought if we had a guard sitting down here, it'd be very nice to put a little etch brass or a chart of some sort on here too, with some basic thread ratios. Don't know. Thinking about that. Also thought I should have stuck this out another inch and then put a counter on here for things like spring winding, but I'm not sure that would have been a good idea either. But anyway. Chirpy, as far as little engines go, the only one I'm really working on, we've got all these boxes out here now looking for an oiler. Now it's got me sort of wondering where it is. I'm going to end up spending a crap ton of my week in here looking for oilers. I thought it was in this box. copper rivets, Teflon balls, what looks like grub screws, stainless steel split pins, big ones, nuts and tails, more nuts and tails. I honestly thought it was just in here somewhere. Some C-clips, some steel rivets, some more steel rivets, some more ball bearings and some more split pins. What's in that one? I already looked at that. So it's not in there what we were looking for. It'll be in a box somewhere. This engine chirpy I've been working on, which is Paul Breach's little brother, which is an associated hireman engine. That's starting to come together. I put a fair bit of work into that the last few months. Cylinder heads sort of pressure tested, mufflers all on it. I think there's a spark plug there somewhere. There's a lot of levers and things that it needs. All the flywheels have got keys in them. We've got crank in it. We've got timing gears, cam, levers, fan, oilers, lots of bits we've done to it, all the governor bits. Get that going at some point. Don't know when. That's about it. Burners around the lamps off the front of the roller. That's them there. They're in the middle of the road by the vacuum cleaner. There you go, Chirp. So, pair of lamps for the front of the roller. We're converting them to LED because we're sick of these, and these are pretty crap, to be honest. But doing a bit of a retrofit, just making separate burners, so these you still use these if we need to, but just a slide-in rechargeable 12-volt LED lamp, so you can switch them on and switch them off, and charge them up with a USB, and they should be quite a lot brighter than these are, which aren't at all. The brightness level of these is terrible, to be honest. Probably if you had a 1910 Hutton-built, there's boilers here everywhere, Chirpy. There's a boiler here for you. Bit concerned about freight for it, but I really should send it to you at some point. We'll chat. The trouble is too with that boiler, if I send you one and I get the other one working, then there's an engine there to go with it too, and I'll have to build that. Thanks, Chirpy. I've got the bits here. Been looking at it. No idea where those oilers are though. I'm sure I had them put away somewhere safe. I thought they were in that box, but they could be anywhere. So this is another job that needs doing at some point, probably before July. I think that's our time limit on that. And there's, of course, there's a few of these that need doing up too. And they might get a powder coat job and new burners in them. So that's all things that we're working on. In the middle of that, I spent the weekend at Dan's doing stuff. Doing stuff's probably pushing it a bit. Spent the weekend at Dan's Spent the weekend at Dan's. Trying to look busy. Offering moral support. Clapping when someone did something. That was about it, the extent of it. We cooked turkey in the camp oven. It came out remarkably well. I'm not sure either of us had a lot of experience in that field, but it really did. By some pure luck, we had Christmas dinner on Monday, and because no one turned up, you should have got more than a clap. Because no one... Look, it'd be awesome if people... Yeah, I don't know. We had Christmas dinner anyway. We won't whinge too much about people not turning up. People have got other stuff to do. So we did veggies. I did sweet potato and pumpkin and whole baby beets or whole beetroot and sweet corn in alfoil in the fire. And what else did I do? Yeah, a few veggies. Dan did beer. We cooked a turkey up, which didn't quite fit in the camp oven, so we had to smash it a couple of times with a shovel before it'd go in. Basically, you got a nice clean spade. You can usually just put it out on the concrete or on a block of wood or an old stump. And if you're a good shot and you sort of get it the first time, you can chop a turkey in half easy enough with it. And then it all went in the campfire after that. It wasn't quite that crude, but yeah. Bill says Ermy Turk and ducking, yeah. And Dan says yeah, we turkey ducking neighbour's dog. Yeah. Anyway, the turkey was pretty amazing actually. It didn't dry out too much. It might have been better if we'd been ready to eat it sort of an hour earlier, but we weren't sure how long it was going to take. And it looked like a lot of meat and it was going to take a while, but it didn't take as long as we thought. And it wasn't uneatable by any means. It was pretty good. We had gravy with it. Anyway, we had cranberry sauce too, which Dan went specially and bought. And I believe that to still be in the fridge because we all forgot about it. Anyway, that was Christmas dinner. Enjoyed that. And afterwards everyone disappeared and I'm not sure we did very much on Monday afternoon, but anyway, that was all right. We had things we could have done, but we never. Anyway. There ain't no white Christmas. No, it was about 30 something. I'm pretty brown actually. Pretty brown. And I use sunscreen, so Dan's sort of bright red. Dan got bit by a wasp too, which didn't help anything. Alright, the Shenandoah Sawmill Railway has been commenced, and we did a little bit on too on the I haven't tried lobster yet. Don't tempt us in the lobster direction because we might try it. I'm not sure roast lobster is really the answer. I might be wrong, but I don't feel like it is. So we had a good run. Big mud crabs from the river would be an excellent option. Turkey roll's a bit spoilt. And there was some turkey left over apparently, but I didn't bring it with me and I forgot it, and I'm feeling a little bit miffed about that. So yeah, you've still got turkey at home somewhere in your fridge. I forgot to bring that back. Haha, yeah, lobster too. Gotcha. He was looking a bit overexposed, a bit sun exposed on Monday afternoon, to be honest, which is a fair point because it was pretty hot. It's a bit of a crew to do the concreting, and concreting guy come and did it. I'm really annoyed I've missed that. That turkey, but anyway, that was pretty good. Bottle of tequila is Christmas spirit? Yeah, probably not. I don't know how. Bad enough on rum, these boys. Tequila might be pushing it, to be honest. Mud crabs. Can't even get decent yabbies, Bill says. If you get a feed of mud crabs, if you want to get down with the old stocking with a bit of meat in it and get some mud crabs or yowies or something, I'd be pretty damn keen actually to cook them up. Yeah, the turkey was pretty hard work, but there was a crew to do it, and they got in and they did pretty well with it. The first truck turned up, 7.2 metres or something, a big truck with 5 axles, whatever. Kenworth T series, little T series, something like that. Might have been W series. No, I think it was, yeah, W maybe. Anyway, it turned up and it was a fairly dry mix. Like, I think they worked pretty hard for that, pushing it around, wheelbarrowing it around and troweling it down the chute and into barrows and things. And got that down, and then the next truck was a smaller truck, which someone probably said it was batched somewhere else because that was fairly runny, so I've got no idea. But no snakes this weekend at all, which was really good. Half expecting it, but we've cleared all the snake pile to start with anyway, so that was out of the way. I did get a little bit of video, but nothing particularly exciting, so sorry guys. I could have a look and see what it is. I might put it up later in a couple of shorts. Yeah, I reckon the black snake was there somewhere. Anyway, that was my week. And that was my weekend anyway. I'm back at work today. I had a pretty crazy big day today till about 2 o'clock, and then I finished some jobs that needed doing. And I'm guessing we're in for a repeat tomorrow and the next day and the next day. Got Sunday off and then I've got 6 days, I think, so yeah. James, look, go and wash your mouth out with soap and water. That would be the answer. I'm not sure it's going to be a tool making challenge if we do another one. I have some other ideas, so we'll see about that. But there might be a workshop challenge this next coming year. I don't know. Look, I look at my year and it's just flown, like it's just disappeared. There's only 10 days to Christmas or something. 12 days, something like that. This year has just disappeared. Like it's gone crazy. Like it's just gone out the door. I don't know if I've achieved much. I guess I probably have. I've got a couple of valves back on the roller. I've got the canopy back on the roller. I've done a few maintenance jobs, major and minor. It's quite a lot cleaner than it was as far as the roller goes. We've picked up a couple of engines that we've done some maintenance on. I don't know. This year feels like it's just disappeared. I've spent a fair bit of time down at Dan's in the last few months, but really only one weekend a month or something before that. Next year feels like it's disappearing too, and honestly, it's not just the roller. Well, it's kind of some of it, but it feels like next year's kind of spoken for, and I've got all these ideas and things I'd love to do. I've got things that I could do in the lathe. I've got things that I'd like to, projects I'd like to make. I'd like to get that finished. I'd like to get all these done, these burners. I'd like to get the cladding on the roller. I'd like to get parcel to Chirpy at some point. I'd like to get some brickwork and foundations and plinths and things all sorted out down at Dan so that we can put some other stuff out. I believe Dan's had the second meeting for Glenray Timberfest, which is in July. Or he's about to have the second meeting, and it's not even Christmas yet. Anyway, life's a bit crazy. That's where I'm going with that. I'd have to buy a ticket to win the lotto, and I haven't done that for a long time. I've done a bit of moving, yes. I think we've settled down for a little while at this point. And there are jobs that I'd like to do, but Joe will probably get sick of me before long anyway. I've got a vintage push bike I'd like to get going. One thing that I'm going to do, as far as downsizing goes, I've decided, I've had a bit of a look, and reluctantly, I'm going to move on all my Hornby O-Gauge collection. So you know anyone locally who wants to buy Hornby O-Gauge or wants to buy the lot as a going concern, that'd be awesome. But I'll probably list it on Marketplace and move it on, because it's not doing any favours here, and I haven't got room to display it even, let alone run it. So that's something I'm going to move on at some point. It's a bit of an executive decision there. Anyway, that's about it. It's me had my moan and giving you some sort of idea what's happening in the workshop and what we're up to date with and what we're not up to date with. It's great to see you guys. Good to see you, Chirpy. Appreciate you actually touching base. Tea and Biscuits, I think, is shopping for a 3-inch scale traction engine in the UK. If anyone knows of anything, reach out to him. Looking for something with a decent boiler on it and fairly tidy, that doesn't need too much work, only a bit of maintenance as time goes on. I'm not sure if I'm moving away from O-Gauge completely, but I am moving away from Hornby because I just don't have time or space for it, to be honest. I've got some nice things. Anyway, I might call this over. I go and chat on just Discord, and I'll send Chirpy a message. Bill can go and collapse and we'll go and watch his video. Go and check out Bill's video. I'm sure it's well worth watching. And go and check out David's shorts and Instagram and stuff, because I'm sure that he's got some very cool stuff that if he's been displayed into a museum. Have a drink for us, Bill, and I'm out, I think. Appreciate you all tuning in. It's great to catch up. Really enjoyed spending time with you guys, and I'll be back next week if there's nothing before. I'm out. Catches.